Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast on Facebook, we have also YouTube, X, and on Instagram. We're glad that you all can be with us today. Going to bring in our friends over on Amazon Live so they can be a part of our conversation. So I can introduce you guys to our next guest. She's making her first appearance with us here on the Amazon Live side. Really excited to be able to tell you guys about her new book. I know you guys are going to really enjoy it, either for yourself as a great gift for others. And we're now live on the Amazon Live side with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button, either here in this corner or down below. You also will see the book by our next guest. Excited to welcome Michelle McKenney to our broadcast today. She's the author of the book you guys can see here. It's called UNSHAKEN, Building Resilience Through Faith and Self-Care. Both are very important. We're going to talk to Michelle not only about the writing of this particular devotional, but what she hopes you're able to take away from it for yourself. If you guys are not connected with Michelle, we'll let you know how to do that too. Michelle, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Good morning on this early morning before Turkey Day.
It is early, but yeah, it's great to be able to speak with you. I enjoyed this book. Hello to you, Kim Sunrise Sunset. I love that name over there on IG. Dawson, hello to you over there on IG as well. Congratulations on the book, Michelle. What has it been like for you to see the way that people are responding to Unshaken and the timeliness of it?
Very receptive, very open. I'm glad to hear a lot of feedback that people are thankful of the topics that I decided to talk about in the book
Mhm.
because it resonated with them, and then specifically with what we're currently going on in today's world, in our country specifically.
Mhm.
We have a lot of things that are not so good that are going on that can cause people to be in a space that is not healthy. So it's just a great thing for them to be able to use every day, pick out different excerpts out of the book, different chapters that they're actually struggling with, um, and write it down because journaling is always good for us to gather our thoughts, put things in perspective, and then to have a way ahead.
Yeah, I love that. Or Dawson writes, hello to you over there on IG. Glad you could join us as well. And what I think is so great about this, Michelle, I had a chance to read the book and when I was prepping for this segment, but also I was doing a review video for you. This is a book that's great for, I know your audience is primarily women, but this is a great book even for us guys to be
Yeah.
able to think about, because I think a lot of times, and I love the fact that in the subtitle you talk about resilience with faith and self-care, because they both are important. Faith, of course, is very important, but the work, I mean, the scripture tells us, is where we really are able to see the benefit. How has that connection helped you, Michelle, to be able to know that, yes, it's great to be able to have your faith in God and what He can do, but knowing that He expects us to do our part too?
So it all goes down to accountability,
Hmm.
right? And being an Army veteran, also working in the mental health field profession, and now being an esthetician in this episode of my life,
Hmm.
that we can't let everybody. We cannot feel that everybody needs to do something and not do something ourselves. It all
Yeah.
starts with us, and God even says that He gives us the vision, and then we have to execute it. Not for everybody else to execute. It's our vision that He gives for us personally, so we have to do our due diligence as well on our side to ensure that we're listening and doing what obedient to Him, but also to love ourselves, because what that He wants us to do is to love ourselves, you
Yeah.
know. So I just think that at times that we down ourselves, but we really have to give ourselves grace. God gives us grace. We need to give ourselves grace.
Yeah, I love the fact, the point you make about that. Hello to you, Iris Bowling. Good to be able to see you over there on IG as well. Freelancer up, maybe freelancer up. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hello to you over there on IG as well. And that's a great point you make in the book. I tell people this is why I actually read the books of my guests, because a lot of times I may go into it with the thought of what I want to talk about, Michelle, but then you may say something. And I love the point you make in the book that we should strive for growth, not perfection. And
Hmm.
so many times people are trying to get everything just right, but that's impossible in the world we live in. How has that freed you to know that you're not expected to be perfect? You're just expected to become better every day.
Less stress.
Okay.
Less stress.
Mhm.
I think that we are our own enemy at times.
Yes.
Um, there's a reason why our mind and our gut are located together and joined together, because those are the most two powerful things, organs in our life besides our skin, right? That if we don't take control of our mind and our thoughts, it will take control of ourselves, of
Mm.
us. And
Yeah.
then those are self-sabotaging behaviors.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't know that because of the environment that we're in. But I promise you, if we get into whatever higher being that people believe in, they get into that word, they think about really about themselves,
Hmm.
and truly loving on themselves, which is part of self-care, and add your faith into that, then that equals resilience. That equals that we don't have to worry about those uh, negative self-talk, all those other kind of things that can easily get into our mind. But we are in control of that. We are in control of it, and we cannot let that defeat us, because sometimes it does.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, and that's a really good point. I've talked about that a lot this year, Michelle. I've dealt with that self sabotage myself, and I've been talking to people about that because I think it's important again for men and women to be able to express that, to let them know that a lot of times we can be our own worst enemy. And,
Yeah.
and and I love the fact you're able to address that. There's also another interesting thing that you talk about in this book, Michelle, that I think our audience will appreciate, especially for a lot of people who recognize, especially this time of year. Hey, Anissa, could be to see you over there on Facebook, that are recognizing, things like, giving thanks and being appreciative for this time, and that is the importance of forgiveness. Talk to us about the connection that you found in faith, self care when it comes to the topic of forgiveness.
So I think sometimes we go through things when we're processing, we really make it about us.
Yeah.
And so there's an author that I love his books, Miguel Ruiz, and he has done the third, fifth, and
Hmm.
fourth and agreements. So
Hmm.
one of those things that I try to really live by is not taking things personal.
Yeah.
Because when we do that, it's really not about us. We have to really consciously think that when sometimes when people say things, it's really a projection, and it really doesn't have to do with us. It's where they're at in their state. So that's
Hmm.
why I say about forgiveness is that, and our higher beings talk about forgiving too. You cannot truly heal and move on until you forgive. And the forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. It's really for you.
Yeah.
So if you want to evolve, if you're a change agent, you want to continue to be the best version of yourself. Forgiveness has to be in that, and it's okay. Um, it's We really have to just see that that is for our growth. For
Right.
our growth, and that we're not holding things hostage. Because when we hold things hostage and we have judgments, when we have regrets, then that's going to stun us in our growth.
Mhm. Yeah, such a great point. I'm going to talk more to you about that. I'm going to reset real quick, Michelle, and say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents on the Amazon side. We welcome you guys joining us, but also on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. Our guest today is Michelle McKenney. We're talking to Michelle about her book. You guys can see here. I have the copy here, Unshaken, and that is bridging resilience, building resilience through faith and self care. We're talking to Michelle about the connection between the two of faith and self care, but also what it's been like for her to share this. So let's go back a little bit,
Mhm.
Michelle. Where did Unshaken begin for you? When did you realize that these principles that you had learned was something that you wanted to put in the book?
Through my journey of my transition from army to have being me, right? I spent over 28 years in the military, and trying to and attempting and succeeding in now being a different person. And what I mean by that is that when you're in an institution or you're in the military, then there's some things that we have to accept regardless,
Mhm.
right? And now being out, you're really able to be yourself and who that person is. So through my experiences and things that I've gone through in life, it's a transition, and some of us don't transition well,
Mhm.
and it shows up. I'm just being dead honest. It just shows
Yeah.
up. How we interact with people, how we communicate, just all of that.
Mhm.
So what I wanted to do with this book is that the things that I've experienced through my journey,
Mhm.
and in each episode that I've been in I call my TV station, right?
Mhm.
Um, and it's okay to have those feelings, and that we need to have more resources for people, because a lot of times, when it comes from my mental health background, a lot of people don't like to talk,
Yeah.
especially us in our culture,
Mhm.
right? that don't want to talk. We have this still, we still have a stigma on going to say it's okay not to be okay. It's
Right.
okay to go talk to somebody else. When we keep secrets and all that kind of stuff, that's it's going to harbor other things that we're not being our unresolved issues that will show up in our life in all different aspects. So when I wrote this, I wanted to have an outlet for people that are afraid to speak for even for themselves, but they have another outlet to, hey, it's going to be okay. Here are some necessary tools that you can use to be your best version of yourself. And not only just for women, but for everyone. So, what I want to do with this book is that it's good for seniors, it's good for the young, it's good for the teen. If anybody can read, they can use this and apply this book.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that you bring up. And again, too, what I love about it too is the accountability aspect as well, Michelle, because as you share information, you then give us work to do, give us questions to answer, and to do that, we have to be honest with ourselves, especially if we do want to be able to find some type of stability, which is why I think the title of the book, Unshaken, is so interesting. Talk to us about how you decided on the title.
Um, it actually came to me in a dream.
Hmm,
Um, and I thought about it with all of the obstacles and things I had to deal with in my cancer journey.
gotcha.
Um, that I'm still here today.
Hmm.
That nothing, everything that I have dealt with or experienced did not unshake me to go off my vision, go off my path that God has designed me to, my purpose.
Yeah,
And that I'm still here fighting and
yeah,
still here doing the thing and being the best version of myself. So
love that.
I wanted to share that with everyone else.
And that's a great reminder for us all. Midnight Ace Book Bar, hello to you over there on IG. Glad you could be able to join us. Anissa says, Michelle, I'm so proud that you chose to be a resource for others by way of your book. Congrats on being an answer. Love that, Anissa. And I should credit Anissa, that's who connected the two of us, Michelle.
Yeah.
So
The
let's talk about
connector,
that.
the
Let's talk about
connector.
support system, because you mentioned this in the book as well. How important has it been for you to have a support system like people like Anissa, but also accountability partners like Anissa as well?
Oh my God. It's been a beacon of light, a breath of fresh air. She's my writing mentor. She's my girl. I mean, she has pushed me in ways that I never thought I could be pushed before. She is, and it helps assisted me with bringing out my voice in my writing, and just being a better version of myself.
Mhm.
She is there for the celebration. She's there for the bad times. Um, she is a true gem in my life, and always has been.
Yeah.
So I thank her so very much every day. Um, and I just want to share her with everybody else because she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
she definitely is that. She and I met in person for the first time, Michelle, just last year. But even before that, just being able to be connected with her, thanks to the Chosen Pen group, has been great to be able to know. It's great to have people like that. I want to talk about the self care part for a moment because we're in an interesting time, Michelle, where people are so busy running and doing for others, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times, and especially, I think this is interesting, especially women sometimes feel like they have to, it's something wrong, with thinking about themselves or taking out time for themselves. How important has that self-care been for you, but also the importance of realizing the power of pausing sometimes as well?
It's so funny you said it that way. Um, so now in my years that I am at now, right?
Mhm.
Not old, just I I think that uh we everything starts with us,
Yeah.
right? And if our mind is not right, then we will attract those types of energies.
Hmm.
So we have to really look at that. And then, too, we have to, like I said earlier, we have to give ourselves grace because think a lot of times we don't give ourselves grace,
Right.
as individuals. And that is part of self care because what happens is then we start to internalize those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, and actually got gaslight our own selves. um And that is not a healthy way to be. Um, it's not, we have to really understand that it's not always about us. And the more that we think about that and just accepting people and things that are going on as what it is in the present, future, and the now, and
Hmm.
versus thinking what ifs in the future and then going back into the past.
Yeah.
And once we do that, and it's hard to do that, specifically when you're always like, for me, I was in logistics, so I'm always a planner. My mother was a planner. My father is a planner. So when we think too much in the future, we lose out what's going on right now. So the more that we can stay in the present, the more we think about ourselves, the more we love on ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, right? I'm with
No.
you. I'm a planner myself, so I totally get that. That's I've talked about that a lot more this year too. You know about that wrestling because a lot of times you miss out on the things you're not able to be as present. That's the last thing I want to talk to you about, Michelle. For our audience out there, as they are being able to hear about Unshaken, thinking about okay how they can apply this or who it may be good for them to share it with. What do you hope people who kind of go through the book, go through the steps, go through the days, what do you hope this book does for them in their life?
Bring them joy, bring them peace, bring them to a mindset that they're thinking about them before other people. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I
Sure.
just mean that we always have a tendency, and we're all caregivers. I used to be a caregiver.
Hmm.
Um, that we're always thinking about everybody else, but at some moment we have to really think about ourselves first, so then we can do what we need to do for us, and then we can do for other people.
Right.
Because we can't fill from an empty cup.
Yes.
That's an analogy that we always say, but it's really the truth. We cannot fill from an empty cup. And then
Hmm.
two, what we need to also acknowledge is that something I used to say all the time: people come in our life for different seasons and different reasons, and we need to just honor that in that moment and take it for what it is and be grateful for that.
Hmm.
Right? Be grateful for that experience. Be grateful what it's done for us in a positive way, but also to look at the lessons that we can experience from the things that we go through. So instead of trying to say, "I don't understand this," or I can't believe this happened to me," actually ask yourself, "Why did this happen? What
Hmm.
am I supposed to be here to learn from this to make me better?" So
Yeah.
that's really what I try to live my life on a daily basis, sometimes minute by minute.
And that's really what we have to do. Again, everyone, Michelle McKenney has been our guest. Her book is called Unshaken: Building Resilience Through Faith and Self Care. It's available here on Amazon. You all can get it for only $14.99 on Amazon. I have it highlighted for you guys on the Amazon side. For those of you joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, you'll find the Amazon link there to be able to get it for yourself. Michelle, great conversation with you. How can our audience stay connected with you?
So they can also go on Amazon, like you said, to purchase my book. And then on Instagram, I am Michelle McKenney. And then also on Facebook, I'm Michelle McKenney.
Okay. Michelle, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate the time. We're going to be sharing your book during our Black Friday week celebration. You actually are part of our video promo that we have coming out later on today about the books we're promoting during Black Friday week. So glad to be able to help you support the book and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you. And thank you for having me this morning. I really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.